Hello and welcome to the Motoring News Zone, the show we take you through the biggest stories in the world of cars right now. This week, find out how you can charge your EV for less than the cost of a coffee, the most powerful production car V12 engine ever has been created, and Toyota are leading the world automotive industry in innovation. Find out why and a whole lot more in today's show. Let's dive in. So, interesting article here on the motoringchronicle.com, and I must admit, when I first saw the headline for this, I was a bit skeptical, to say the least. It's basically claiming because of the new energy prices here in the UK that are coming up tomorrow, actually, as I record this on the 1st of April. Unfortunately, this is no joke. This is deadly serious, this, in terms of the actual price that electricity and energy is going to be very soon. But apparently you can drive 200 miles on a single cup of coffee. Now, that doesn't mean putting the cup of coffee in your car. That doesn't mean putting the cup of coffee in you. That just means the general cost of a coffee, you can charge a car to that amount and drive 200 miles on it for an EV. Let's have a look at this, guys. I'm interested to see how this has worked out. Full article on motoringchronicle.com as always. With the standard price of electricity rising from the 1st of April, how would you like to drive more than 200 miles on a single price of a cup of coffee? That is possible with an EV charged by Ohm, the UK's largest and fastest growing EV charging company, if a driver switches to a dynamic home electricity tariff. With Starbucks' most popular coffee, the Caramel Macchiato, costing £4.10, that would enable an EV driver to drive 234 miles with an electricity tariff charge such as an Intelligent Octopus Go at 7 pence per kilowatt hour. From the 1st of April 2025, the new standard variable tariff electricity will be 27 pence per kilowatt hour. This forthcoming electricity price rise underlines how important it is for EV drivers to charge their cars at home on a dynamic smart tariff to increase their savings, said Ohm CEO David Watson. Ohm is the only home EV charging company whose products have been compatible with every UK energy tariff since launch, giving EV drivers the maximum amount of choice available at the lowest cost. So there's some working out here. So the average price of unleaded petrol at the moment is £1.40. I mean, again, this depends where you are and where you actually get it from. Where I am, it's actually under £1.30 if you go to a supermarket, but this can change. And if you go to some of the more expensive ones like Shell, it could easily cost you that, without a doubt. Now, the average UK driver does apparently drive 6,800 miles in a single year, and that puts the cost of petrol at just over £1,000 at the moment. Now, doing that distance on the standard variable tariff at 27 pence per kilowatt hour, that means that you're spending around £450 if you've got an EV. That's for a single year. Whereas on that Intelligent Octopus Go one, it's just over 100 quid for a year, which is, that's an incredible difference, really. Again, depends where you are, depends what your things are and stuff like that in terms of what you've actually got, in terms of, the price that you've got there for your tariff. But at the end of the day, if you have these conditions, you can actually get them. That's just an incredible amount of money that's being saved right there. The unique charging software and technology in Ohm's chargers can connect with the national grid in real time and automatically adjust its charging for drivers to take advantage of all the times of low price charging with the latest generation of smart tariffs. And I just went over that in terms of the actual cost of things up there anyway on that graph, which is very handy. So yeah, interesting really. That is fascinating in terms of the price it's going to cost you. I mean, one, it shows how much coffee actually costs in Starbucks, which I never go to personally. More of a Costa kind of guy, really. But more than anything, I love my home coffee maker. But anyway, let's not talk about coffee. Let's talk about EVs. The price difference is incredible. I mean, again, some people will say, oh, what if you do a public charger? What if you charge at these more in-demand times? And yeah, of course it's... But in general, having an EV, if you can afford to have an EV, it is far cheaper than running a petrol or diesel car. That is a fact. That is an absolute undeniable fact that people will still try and deny. But, some people are just a bit skeptic about it. I'll probably put that video at the end of this one on YouTube, actually. The electricity skeptics, the EV skeptics, whatever they're being called. I did an interesting video on that recently, just going another story about a lot of these myths and stuff like that are abound about EVs. But there we go, guys. So yeah, EVs are cheaper to run than getting a coffee. It's official. Japanese car maker Toyota are maintaining their spot at the top of the automotive patent ranking in the United States. And you might be wondering, what is that? Well, Of course, the patent office in the United States, that sets the patents, that sets the rules effectively for inventions. So you can't copy something that is patented without actually having permission for that, or your rear end is going to get sued as a result. Now, this basically does show that Toyota are inventing a lot of new different parts and cars, anything like that, really, when it comes to, the cars being developed. So it does show that Toyota really are pushing the envelope when it comes to actually innovating upon their cars, which, of course, they make a lot of. They are, I believe, still the biggest car maker in the world by the total volume of vehicles they produce. And, of course, the Toyota Corolla is still the most popular car in the world, and it will be for a very long time to come, no doubt about that. But let's have a look at this full story, guys, on the motoringchronicle.com as always. For the 11th consecutive year, Toyota has secured more patents from the US Patent and Trademark Office than any other automotive company, according to the annual report by the Intellectual Property Owners Association. Toyota also remains in the top 10 among all patent recipients, with over 2,400 US patents in 2024 alone. Wow. Toyota's innovation led to patents in dozens of areas this past year, including cybersecurity, driver assist technology, edge computing, electric and fuel cell vehicles, mobility as a service, manufacturing, materials, robotics, telematics, and V2V and V2X connectivity, among many others, no doubt. Toyota is evolving into a mobility company, and the breadth and depth of our patent acquisitions exemplify the wide range of invention that is taking place at our company, said Sandra Phillips, the Senior Vice President of Enterprise and Integrity, Chief Sustainability Officer, and the Chief Legal Officer at Toyota Motor North America. My goodness me, she'll have a long name card on her desk. Can she fit that on the glass pane on the door? I doubt it. And imagine it on the business card as well. It's a collective effort from every part of Toyota, including contributions from North America R&D, Toyota Research Institute, Toyota Connected, Woven by Toyota, and our manufacturing centers. Toyota makes strategic approaches to patent filing, ensuring that we are building a portfolio of core technology and supporting future goals and objectives, said Fred Mao, the Intellectual Property IP Counsel and Director of Patent Licensing for Toyota IP Solutions. We are securing a tremendous amount of new IP growth in areas of electrification, new materials, and autonomous driving. That's going to be the big one in the decades to come for sure. I mean, you can read more about these in terms of the details of them, but I'll just very quickly list them here. LiDAR reflective fabric, transport energy transfer, using real-time cost information, systems and methods for managing cooperative maneuvering among connected vehicles, and modular fuel cell architecture and a control system for distributing power to the modules are some of the most important sectors they have been innovating on. So yeah, cool stuff by Toyota. Like I say, they are growing from strength to strength. They're not resting on their laurels when it comes to this. They're really pushing things when it comes to the boundaries of technology in cars. It's the Japanese, man. They love doing stuff like this. They've been doing it for decades. They're always going on with this technology stuff, and all power to them. They're very good at it. There's a reason why they sell so many cars. It's no coincidence that the likes of Toyota, Honda, Mazda, Subaru, there's some big car makers over in Japan. There is no doubt about that. Big in Japan. So a lot of automotive manufacturers these days are very much focusing on smaller engines that just produce a decent amount of power, and also increasing the amount of electric power within their engines too. But not all manufacturers are going with this philosophy, because somebody called Zenvo Automotive have produced the most powerful V12 engine ever to be fitted to a road legal vehicle, which is something incredible to think about. I mean, a V12 is a powerful engine anyway. Some of the Ferrari V12s we've seen over the decades have been absolutely monstrous. So for this one to be even more powerful than that is something special. So let's have a look at this, guys. Let's have a look at a bit of engineered insanity, if I don't say so myself. Full article on the motoringchronicle.com as always. Zenvo Automotive will shortly breathe life into its Mjolnir. Great name. That is Thor's hammer, in case you don't know. With 4 turbochargers and producing up to 1,250 brake horsepower alone, pushing it up to 1,850 brake horsepower when incorporated with the electric hybrid system. See, it's got an electric system in as well. It's helping out the environment. It will be the most powerful V12 engine ever fitted to a production road car. The first example of the carefully crafted hand-built unit has now been completed as the Aurora development program continues at pace. Developed with the team at Mahle Powertrain, the beating heart of Aurora is a newly designed bespoke 6.6 litre V12 engine, which will be built at Mahle Powertrain in Northampton in the UK, alongside the hybrid system. With the birth of this new milestone power plant, the Aurora program has taken a significant step forward, and an extensive testing phase will now be underway ahead of the first prototypes entering tested. Yes, please do test this properly, because I mean, just look at it. It's absolutely ridiculous. The size of the car they're going to need to fit in, that thing to fit in is going to be unbelievable. Here's the chairman of Zenvo Automotive, Jens Sverdrup. Let's go Sverdrup. A key part of the Aurora program is around delivering an emotional connection for drivers and passengers. Yeah, they'll be hanging on for dear life probably. Designed to simulate the senses. Oh, it'll definitely do that. Sound and visceral drama is what Aurora will all be about, and the engine is a vital element in this, which we will turn up to 11. At Zenvo, we are a team of passionate, genuine car guys, and it is not every day that a V12 engine is born. So it is a very proud moment and very exciting to finally showcase Mjolnir. The fact it is the world's most powerful road car engine was not something we set out to achieve. I don't believe that for a second. You don't end up with the most powerful engine of that type ever created without doing it on purpose. You can't just stumble into that. Come on, Jens, I'm not buying that. But it is a result of pushing what we know is possible. This is a hugely important milestone, and the next step we'll see and hear it come to life, and it has already been designed to deliver at every level, which shows the progress we continue to make. The design of Mjolnir is based on experience and proven practices within the road car sector, while pushing the boundaries of performance. This engine has been carefully considered in all aspects, from the initial design phase, from driver engagement and comfort, through to meeting current and future emissions legislation around the world. Despite its high performance levels with its 9.8 thousand RPM red line, this is a bespoke design developed specially for the road, rather than being some more compromised when motorsport derived. The engine will feature the Mahle jet ignition system, which has been in development at Mahle Powertrain for over a decade and is a key enabler for Lambda 1 operation. This will be the prerequisite for future emissions requirements. This engine in V12 format is the first implementation of this new modular architecture from Zenvo Automotive. From here, the concept will continue to be developed and used in different layouts across future product lines and models within the Zenvo family. Oh, right, so there we go. It's multi-purpose. It can be applied to different kinds of vehicles. So if you want that bad boy in your SUV, then maybe you'll be able to one day. But yeah, I mean, I just find that staggering. I really do. They must have tried. You can't just accidentally end up with the most powerful performance engine on a road car of that type. You definitely try and do that. Even if not literally, subconsciously, like, well, let's push it as much as we can, which they do allude to in that interview, to be fair, does the chairman. So yeah, I mean, we talk about EVs a lot. We talk about, the environment and stuff like that, and it all being important. We also are petrol heads here at the motoringchronicle.com. So, we do a lot of stuff when it comes to that. And this definitely falls into that category. The most powerful V12 motor of its type ever made, with like 600 horsepower of electric power. To put that into context as well, over 1,850 horsepower, whatever it was in total. That is more powerful than the most powerful Formula One car engine of all time back in the turbo era in the 80s. And it's like nearly double the power of one now. So, yeah, crazy, crazy stuff. Engineered insanity. Your thoughts on it in the comments below, guys. So, a road safety scheme which has reduced accidents by 84% delivers its 1.5 millionth lesson. Interesting article here on the motoringchronicle.com. Let's have a look at what this is about. A road safety scheme which aims to create a safer next generation of drivers has delivered a landmark 1.5 millionth lesson. Young Driver teaches people to drive from the age of 9 and is the largest scheme of its kind in the UK. Research shows that teaching youngsters to drive over a long period of time can help improve the safety of the drivers when they go on to pass their test. On average, 1 in 5 newly qualified drivers in the UK has had an accident within the first 6 months of passing their test. But for young driver alumni, that reduces that to 1 in 25, an 84% reduction overall. That's massive. Having launched in 2009 at just one site, Young Driver now operates at 70 venues across England, Scotland and Wales. Over the 16 years since the scheme has been operating, over 9,000 events have taken place. Realistic road systems are created on private property with roundabouts, junctions and areas to practice manoeuvres. Lessons are taught in dual-controlled Suzuki Swifts or similar cars by a roster of 430 approved driving instructors. Youngsters learn as they would on the road at 17, mastering the skills of clutch control, braking, steering and observation, with a drive diary tracking their progress. Under 9s can even have a lesson in the specially created electric Firefly, a 2-seater car for younger children. Taylor Deans, who just turned 10 and lives in Wolverhampton, was the youngest driver behind the wheel for the 1.5 millionth lesson at Young Driver in Brierley Hill venue in the Midlands. Savannah Deans, Taylor's mum, said, "I've wanted Taylor to try a driving lesson with Young Driver for a while, so we decided to do it for his 10th birthday. I was blown away with how much he learned. We booked in for an hour and he's already just desperate to come back. I would highly recommend it to anybody. He's already more aware of the road and how cars work, which is helpful as a pedestrian and cyclist. We will definitely keep going so he builds on these skills." And then Ian Mulligani, the managing director of Young Drivers, said this: "Everything we do is about safety and helping young people realise the responsibility that comes with being behind the wheel of a vehicle. Practice really does make perfect, and the accident stats for our past pupils prove this is a positive way to improve the safety of young people behind the wheel, but it's something that they have fun doing. While children can begin learning from the age of 9, 1 in 5 of the scheme's pupils is aged 16 and looking to ramp up their experience before lessons on the road. Young Drivers research has shown that past pupils are likely to require 58% fewer professional lessons on the road before passing their test. Alumni took, on average, only 19 professional lessons at 17 before they passed their test, a big reduction on the national average of around 45 hours. A further 19% of pupils are aged 17 or 18 and are looking to build up their confidence in a safe and secure environment. Ian further explained, "There is no pressure to pass a test or to deal with aggressive road users, so pupils can take their time getting to grips with mechanics of driving the car. That solid grounding can make all the difference, helping those aspects become second nature, so when a young driver does go to take to the road, they can focus much more on the complexity of negotiating the road system and other road users. Some people may be lacking in confidence or may have additional needs and be unsure about how they'll take to driving, and this only allows them to get it in a safe environment. But the younger we start as a pupil, the more chance we have to build up their skills, and it's also key to begin talking to them about the responsibility and driving standards when they're more receptive to it." Young Driver recently unveiled a brand new fleet of 170 Suzuki Swift cars. Youngsters can also have a lesson in a classic and a luxury vehicle and even a fire engine. Man, that sounds cool. I want to go in a fire engine. I want to see how that bad boy handles. I mean, I think this is really good. I was aware of stuff like this before, in terms of, being able to drive a car safely in a private kind of area rather than being on the roads. Because legally, you can't drive a car on the road if you're 17. And I think you have to be 18 to pass your test. And 17 is like the minimum you can do lessons on the road from, I believe. unless I'm very much mistaken with that. But anyway, this just immediately makes me think of that old Top Gear episode where they go to Finland, and the Finns are fantastic drivers on the whole. They make some of the best Formula One drivers and some of the best rally drivers at the top end, but I believe their roads are very, very safe in general, even though it's quite a harsh country, quite a remote country for the most part. Lots of forests, lots of harsh winter weather in the colder months. But the drivers there, they all start learning by the time their feet can touch the pedals. And I think that's a good thing at the end of the day. You get that, you get used to it. The younger you start with, it's like a language or anything like that. The younger you start with it, the more it'll be ingrained in your brain as you develop. So if you're 18, when you start learning to drive, your brain's mostly developed. It doesn't stop developing. I know for men it doesn't stop developing until you're 25. It might be different for women. Might be the same. I can't remember now, but I know for men, our brains don't stop developing relatively till we hit 25. So overall, I think it's a really good thing. I really think it's a really positive thing. And my question with this, and I'll probably put this as the title of the video, should we lower the learning age for being able to pass your test? There are some places in the United States where I'm sure you can pass your test from 15, 16. Should we lower it to 16 in the UK, or maybe just lower it to 17? I know you can start learning by 17, but I don't think you can take your test until you're 18. But should that actual regulation be lowered? Should it be a younger age? I think so, personally. I think why not at the end of the day? The younger you are, the more you can get used to stuff like this. Maybe make it mandatory to have some lessons at first on private property like that, but everybody remembers their first driving lesson. It's stressful as hell, even if you're an adult. I had my first lessons when I was 20, I think. I remember it so well, that first lesson, because I was stressed out of my mind. I was sweating buckets. I hated it. It's horrible. It's really nerve-wracking the first time you do something like that. So maybe making something like this on a private property where there's no aggressive road users, nothing to fear effectively, you can make mistakes without any kind of consequences. I think that'd be a positive thing. But what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below. So Kia are updating their in-car software, and there's a new AI voice assistant that will help with video streaming and Wi-Fi hotspot capability as well in that. So let's have a look at this, guys. Full article on themotoringchronicle.com. As always, Kia's much anticipated AI voice assistant is now available for EV3 drivers as part of a range of features included in the company's latest over-the-air OTA updates. These features cover improvements to voice control, connectivity, entertainment, and navigation as Kia continues to enhance the driver and passenger experience. We are very excited to bring the Kia AI assistant into our vehicles, as this highly capable voice assistant engages with drivers and passengers in a natural, conversational way to easily plan trips, find entertainment, and much more, said Pablo Martinez Masip, who is the Vice President Product and Marketing at Europe and COO at Kia Connect. This is a great example of how an award-winning connected vehicle can be made even better through a software update. Kia vehicles from model year 2022 onwards are telematics equipped that are eligible to receive 2 free OTA updates. After that, further updates can be purchased in the Kia Connect store, accessible via the Kia Connect app. For those that don't know, it basically means wireless. It's just over the internet pretty much in terms of how that'll do. You don't have to go down to a Kia garage to get it updated. You can just do it naturally through the internet pretty much there. Easily, I should say. It's nothing natural about the internet, but it's very good at the end of the day. It does come in handy for one or two things. The latest update adds new features specifically for the EV3 with entertainment packages such as YouTube streaming, Wi-Fi hotspot capability, and AI assistant among 18 changes available for that vehicle. Wireless technology is used to download the latest update software. Once the download is completed and the ignition is turned off, a confirmation window appears on the infotainment screen for the installation to start. And there's a full list of all the updates on there for you guys in terms of what you can expect with it. Go over to themotoringchronicle.com if you're interested in reading some more about that. But yeah, good stuff at the end of the day. It does weird me out. Like, I've got a Kia, and I remember the first time I had an update to do, I was like, I have to do software updates for my car. What is going on? I'd come from like a cheap, terrible little Hyundai i10 that I did love, to be fair, where there was the only technology in that thing was the radio. That was kind of it, really. Nothing like that. So going from the Stone Age to the Space Age like that, was a big wake-up call. So yeah, you have to do an update for your car, but it's a free one, and it's a good one at the end of the day. There's a lot of cool stuff that's being added there. So yeah, let us know what you think about it in the comments below, guys. Are you considering buying a Kia? Do you already own a Kia? I want to hear what you have to say in the comments below about this one. Like, share, comment, subscribe as always, and have a fantastic week ahead. See you very soon.